Hello everyone, this is Robert, and this is the newest version of Psychotic Break, my beetleweight combat robot. This is going to be competing in about a week from now at ARC in Phoenix, Arizona, and I wanted to do this video just to kind of show you some of the changes. Not a lot has changed, so I'm going to just focus mostly on the hub motor and the frame. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So down below in the description, I will link to the previous overview where I kind of do a little bit more in-depth on this. Most everything is pretty much the same. The hub motor and the frame are the only two things that have changed. So please check out that video for everything else. The body is the exact same as last time. It's just a different color. The wheels, the wheel guards, all of that good stuff. But the hub motor has had some pretty significant changes to it. So let's first kind of address what the issue was. So here in front of me I have the old hub motor and its respective bearing and the new hub motor and its bearing. As you can see, there is a drastic size difference between these two bearings. The front end of Psychotic Break has a limited height, and so fitting a larger bearing was kind of problematic because I need two of these, one on the top and then one on the bottom. So to make weight or make room for this extra bearing, I actually needed to pocket into the frame. So with the new frame, the motor actually sits down 3 millimeters into it, and then on the top, the bearing is actually pocketed into the frame as well. Obviously it's loose because it has to hit on this inner race. So yeah, I guess long story short, I moved to much larger bearings on the new hub motor, and then I also changed the design to accommodate for that. You can see a lot of weight savings here. I've cut off the outside of this flange because that didn't really do anything. It is taller to accommodate for the extra bearing height. And let's see, what else did I do? I added the features for the tools for pressing in and out to the bearing, but most notably, if you look at the side profile, this one's just kind of flat and the weapon is supposed to ride up here, whereas this one has two weapon mount options. I can mount it down below or I can mount it up top. The biggest difference is that I made sure that when I'm mounted on the top here, which is the configuration I have right here, that the center of mass of the weapon is actually lined up with the two bearings. So one bearing sits here and one bearing sits inside, and so that weapon is lined up right in the middle. On this old hub, the bearing actually, or the weapon, sat a little bit lower, and so when things would hit you vertically, it really wasn't supported by the bearings because they were kind of further away, if that makes sense. So this allows me to have the blade right in line with the bearings, and so for vertical hits or horizontal hits, we're right at the bearing stack, and the motor can is all the way down here, and that's not where the weapon is mounted. This also gives me the advantage of having this be relatively low to the ground. I think it's only 6 millimeters or so, quarter inch off the ground, so it's relatively low hitting now as well. For the previous version of Psychotic Break, the overall weight was very close to the limit. I think it was maybe only within 5 or 10 grams of the weight limit. So adding in a much heavier bearing, which I think the difference alone was like 10 grams, then you have two of those, so that's 20 grams, and then the larger hub motor to accommodate that, I ended up being about 50 grams overweight, so I had to find that weight somewhere. So one of the things that I did was these pockets actually remove a little bit of weight. I also made a wire channel down this whole length of it, so the wire actually sits down in this channel now, and I just went through and made all of these pieces just slightly thinner, and I was able to shave off just enough weight by taking it from pretty much everywhere on the bot. So that got me down to weight, and with these two pockets I was able to actually fit everything in the same chassis. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Not a lot of changes this time. I only had 2 issues with the last version. That was on vertical hits. I was losing my hub motor, so hopefully the larger bearings and the new hub arrangement will fix that. And then I also had an issue with my BEC dying, which supplies power to the radio. I know what that issue is. It was using really thin wires and one of them broke. So I ended up using this really high strand count silicone jacketed wire, replaced all the wiring, so that should be good. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. People have seen the preview of this on Instagram. If you haven't seen my Instagram, please go ahead and join, follow, whatever it's called. Do that, links down below in the description. I'll do a fight recap for this once the competition is over, and be sure to be on the lookout for my overview for Low Man version 2. It is absolutely insane. So thanks for watching, see you in the next video, and wish me luck.